Yeah, my name is Michael Thompson. I'm born and grew right here in Jamaica. I grew up in the heart, the city of Kingston, a very violent, most of the violent eras, called the ghetto eras in Kingston. I grew up in those eras. I was sent to church as a young man by my parents. I went because I was at an age that I had no choice. I had to go. But I had no intention of becoming a Christian. So I went to the Seventh-day Adventist Church because my family are Adventists of background. So at the age 15, I left home to go on my own. And that's where I stopped going to church. Had nothing to do with church, had nothing to do with God. As a matter of fact, because of living in the ghetto community, I took up gang. I became a gang member, and I was one of those that men look up to. So I was like, firstly, a leader of gang, and young men look up to me. So it led me in a direction where I end up doing wrong things, getting involved with all kinds of things that I was not supposed to do, and I became bad. I also was a young man who hated the church. I hated everyone who was called a Christian. I hated everyone who was called a pastor. I had nothing to do with church or Christian. I had no intention of becoming a Christian. I have no intention of becoming a pastor. I have no intention of going to any church. But I was also employed as a bus and a truck driver in Jamaica. So one Friday night I was given the job by a church to transport them to a parish called St. Mary, a district called Anatomy. When I was to pick up the people at the church, my exact words were, I don't like these hypocrites and I don't want to carry them. But I took the job because where they were going, the location where they were going, was exactly where I had a girlfriend, and I used that as a way of getting to be with my girlfriend. I went there the night with them, took the bus, parked the bus in the churchyard, and I left to be with my girlfriend, or my other girlfriend, because I live at home with a woman already who has 2 children for me at that time. While there up at that girlfriend's house, she asked me to stay with her overnight, and I said no, I can't stay because I have some hypocrites. I have some wicked church people down at the church waiting for me. They're having a gospel concert. At minutes to 12, before 12 o'clock, I left from the churchyard saying that the wicked people should be ready now. When I got to the churchyard, walked to the back of the church and looked through the door, church was still in swing. I remember looking at my watch, and my watch said exactly 12 midnight. So I started cursing bad words. I cursed a lot of bad words. I made up bad words. When I ran out of the regular bad words, I cursed more bad words. Pastors, a lot of pastors were sitting on the rostrum, and I told them bad words. I told the people in the church bad words. There was a man standing beside me, name is Mr. Tyrrell. He turned to me and said to me, no, you cannot be going on bad like that because you're at a church. I told him bad words also. But then there was this woman of God, an evangelist, a Jamaican singer called Sister Scully. She was the guest artist at the gospel concert. So there she went up, took up the microphone to sing. And as she took up the microphone, she started by singing this song first. Hurry up, get ready to go. Right there and then, as I stood at the back of that church, less than 1 minute after I had cursed the last bad word, as that woman opened her mouth to say, hurry up, get ready to go. That was when I heard a voice said to me, you come, I'm going to make you fishers of men. The lady started singing another song same time. She stopped the first one and started the next one. For his blood is not just blood of any ordinary spotless lamb, but his blood is precious blood, for it washed the sins of man. His blood healed my body and set my spirit free. As she started singing that song, I felt a pull. I stood up with both hands held high, and I walked all the way from the back of that church full length all the way down that passageway with both hands held up. No altar call was made, no message was said. All I did was just walk to that altar, tears flowing down freely. I stood before that woman as she was singing, and as that woman of God sang that song, over and over, I stood there, but her eyes were closed, so she didn't know I was there. When she opened her eyes and she saw me, she said, "Young man, can I help you?" I said to her, "Yes, please sing me that song again." And she started singing that song. And I stood there with both hands held. I surrendered to Christ. Tears flowing down freely from her eyes. At the end of singing her song, she handed me the microphone that she was singing from. And I took that microphone and I held it to my mouth. And I said, "Lord, as from tonight, I surrender my life to you." I said, "Lord, I want to be a servant. I want you to use me. Send me where you want me to go, and I will do what you want me to do, Lord." And I surrendered my life that night. And there was great rejoicing in that church. And when the concert was over, I was the one who was quarreling about the Christians not coming out. They now had to be begging me to come out of the church. I went home that morning in the wee hours of the 3 a.m. in the morning. I got home. My girlfriend, who I lived with then, the mother of 2 children for me, was in bed as usual. I always come home with a lot of lies to tell her because I was having woman after woman everywhere I went. She was fed up of the life. And when I went into the house, she was in bed, laying down. I sat on the bed and I said to her, "Darling, I'm saved. I'm a new creation. I'm a brand new man. I have now surrendered my life to the Lord." And I told her the events of what happened at that concert. And she sat in that bed and she cried, and she cried. She cried for about half an hour, crying non-stop. I started to wonder what was happening because I've never heard her cry so before. At the end of crying, in tears, same way she said to me, "Look underneath my pillow." That is her pillow that is on the bed. There are 2 pillows on the bed, one that I sleep on and the one she sleeps on. When I lifted up her pillow, there was this long ice pick. I was frightened. In my house, we have never had an ice pick in our house. Ice pick is what we use to chip ice. It carries a long point with a board handle. A brand new ice pick was underneath her pillow. She took up the ice pick and she handed it to me. My murder weapon was surrendered in my hand. I said to her, "What was this for?" She said to me that she was important to her, and a girlfriend that I had, the same one that I was with the night in Anatomy, said to her that I plan to leave her and come with that girl to live. And she remembered saying to the girl, "If I can't get him, nobody will get him." So that was what led her to going to buy that ice cream. She had packed her bags and put them in the corner of the bedroom. The boys were with their grandmother, and she had made her plan that when I was asleep, she would have used that ice pick to pierce straight through my heart, and then she would have flee the murder scene. Thank God that night, Jesus saw what was going to take place. He saw the ice pick. He knew I did not know anything about it. But she did not know that I was at a gospel concert either. So she was waiting on me thinking that I was coming from another woman's house, which yes, I was coming from another woman's house. But I was coming home a saved man because of his blood that washed me that night. I sat on the bed with the murder weapon in hand. I still have the ice pick today I still have the ice pick. It has been 18 years now. I invited her to church with me. The Sunday morning we went to church. It was first time in all the years that we had lived together that we're ever going to a church together. We have never been into a church together. So we went to the church the Sunday morning and the pastor preached the message. I remember the message well. The topic of his message was, it's good to know that your name is written down in the Lamb's Book of Life, but it's best for you to make sure that it stays there. At the end of his message, he made an altar call, asking if there was anyone who wanted to surrender their life to the Lord. And she got up from where she was sitting, walked to that altar and said, yes, Lord, I'm coming home to you. So she got saved the Sunday. Because we were living together and we had children already, we didn't want to separate, so we just planned a quick wedding. So within the same month that I got saved, same month of the same year, we went straight to the riverside one Sunday morning, both of us, and we were baptized together at the same time. 2 pastors in the water dipped us and we came up together. We left for a church that same Sunday afternoon and we got married. On that same day is also my birthday. So on the 6th of September, I celebrate my birthday, my baptism birth, and my anniversary. To God be the glory. Many people have asked me, what have made this change in my life? Because I was a very stubborn young man. I did not move